See that there's actually no one tuning in on TV, but we do record these, and people can tune in later and watch them. So I'd like to kind of announce what's happening. So today is April the 13th. The item before us is an administrative variance for a front yard setback by Mr. Lou Bonilla, who is here. So did I say that right, Bonilla?
Bonilla.
Bonilla. Okay, thank you, sir. And the address of the property is 31680 Park Glen Road in Galena. And to start off the process, the clerk will read into the record the public notice of the hearing.
The following notice was posted in the Kent County News on March 30th, 2023. Notice is hereby given that on Thursday, April 13th, 2023 at 10 a.m., the Kent County Director of Planning, Housing, and Zoning will hold a public hearing in the County Commissioner's Hearing Room at 400 High Street in Chestertown, Maryland. Lou Bonilla requesting an administrative variance of 8.1 feet from the required 50-foot front yard setback to construct a 12-foot by 24-foot attached garage. The property is located at 31680 Park Glen Road in the 1st Election District and is zoned critical area residential. Members of the public may attend the meeting in person or observe or comment on the meeting via the audio-only phone number and conference identification number listed below. Dial 872-239-8359 and enter conference ID 129-380-928#. Members of the public are asked to mute their phones or devices until the chair opens the floor for comment. Letters were mailed to adjacent property owners of Mr. Bonilla on March 24th, and the property was posted on March 27th.
Thank you, Campbell. Have we received any correspondence?
No correspondence was received.
Okay, thank you. So part of this process is that the neighborhood is notified, there's, your property is posted, letters are sent out, so that folks can attend this meeting and either in support or opposition and give their testimony. In this case, just for the record, the room is the applicant only. So, and April, hi April, who's our IT person. So the way the process normally unfolds is staff gives a report, you make a presentation, folks in support would then speak, and then folks in opposition would then speak, and then you get closing remarks, and if anyone in opposition wants to make closing remarks. But we'll really only be having a staff report today, and you're sort of what you want to say about your property, since we have a lightly attended meeting. So before we start, I do want anyone who's giving testimony to raise their right hand and answer this question. You too? Yes, sir. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do. I do.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll start with the staff report, and if I may ask, Mr. Bonilla, have you read the staff report? Have you seen it and been provided it and read through it?
I have.
You have, okay. So then in that case, Mark, if you could give a summary of the staff report.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
As was mentioned, seeking a variance from the 50-foot setback in order to construct a attached garage to existing structure. Our ordinance does set the uses, permitted uses and structures for critical area residential where he's placed, and also the bulk standards. Staff attack comments are as follows. Due to the slope of the rear yard, existing home is constructed close to the road prior to the current bulk standards and encroaches approximately 21 feet into the required setback from the front yard. Administrative variance was granted previously in order for the construction or the renovation of the kitchen and the construction of this attached garage. This was provided in 2008. Previous owners did do the renovation for the kitchen, but did not complete the project by constructing the garage, which Mr. Bonilla is seeking to do today. Since the variance lasted only for 1 year, I filed this petition for a variance in order to complete that project. In order to grant a variance, there are a variety of criteria which must be adhered to. Our staff and TAC comments in regards to those, that State Highway and Public Works has no opposition to county approval. Health Department has approved with a condition that no plumbing or conditioned air to the proposed structure be permitted. The proposed structure will match the motif of the existing dwelling. Variance will not cause a substantial detriment to adjacent neighboring properties. The practical difficulty is caused by the slope of the rear yard. The structure is to be placed atop existing driveway and no additional lot coverage will result. Comprehensive plan is neutral. Request is consistent with critical area law, and the proposed development is reasonable use of the property. Therefore, staff recommends approval of an 8.1-foot variance from the minimum 50-foot front yard setback to construct the 12 by 24 attached garage with the following conditions: that no plumbing or conditioned air to the structure is permitted unless approved by the health department, and that the variance granted would lapse after 1 year if no substantial construction in accordance with the plans herein presented were to occur. Thank you.
Mr. Bonilla, would you like to say some words about your application?
I really don't have much more comment. It would all be redundant.
Okay, that's fine. I noticed in the record that a variance was granted in 2008 of a similar nature that was discussed. I don't think that the variance requested deviates from that, so, and your staff report was complete. So I guess 3 steps I'd like to do is, first I want to accept the staff report into the record officially, accept TAC comments into the record, and of course your application in the record. Based on a review of this case, I'd like to have my findings be in support of the variance. I think I'd like to change the condition. Instead of 1 year, I'd like it to be 2 years. Just because give you some more time. And then that would be for approval of the variance with that condition. So staff will prepare a decision for you. That decision usually takes about 2 weeks. It's a written decision that confirms this, similar to the one that was in 2008. If you have a building permit in process, we can review that permit and move forward with it. We can't issue it until 30 days after this date, so that there's an opportunity for any member of the public to file an appeal. Do you have a building permit on file? Have you started that process? Yes.
I started that process at the same time I did the variance.
Perfect. That's a good way to do it. So, okay. All right. Do you have any questions about the health department's condition?
No questions because there's no plumbing planned. I mean, it's a garage, so I'm not.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah, that's I think that's their new standard condition, but it's a new standard condition. So, okay. All righty. Well, do you have any questions about the process?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and coming back and going through the process and having the opportunity. If your neighbors wanted to speak, they would have that, and I think we can move forward with approval. So,
Appreciate your time today.
same here. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. And with that, there's no other items on our agenda, so we will close the administrative hearing.